All right, let's talk about a pair of Cowboys receivers who have, maybe their fortunes are heading in opposite directions. Amari
Oh, yeah.
Cooper going to the Browns, so that's the end of his career. And Michael Gallup is staying with the Cowboys, and in Cooper's absence and staying with an already prolific offense, that's certainly going to help his stock quite a bit. You disagree with either of those?
No, not at all. Honestly, I would not be shocked in the least if Michael Gallup outscores Amari Cooper this year as the number 2 for the Cowboys compared to being the number 1 on the Browns.
He will outscore Amari Cooper this year.
I like it. You're not even like going out on a let. You're just saying, bam, he will. And I
assume that he will. I'm approaching it from the standpoint of, I'll be a little surprised if Cooper outscores him.
Gallup, in these early drafts I keep referencing, he is going probably 4 rounds after Cooper right now. And
that's nuts.
It's mind-blowing. I have Gallup in almost every single draft I've done over the last 3 weeks, kind of assuming this move would play out, and it played out to perfection. I was hoping Cooper would at least land somewhere viable, but you couldn't really pick him on a worse spot than the Browns. I mean, yes, there's going to be plenty of volume, certainly after they released Jarvis Landry, in terms of him being the number 1 on question, but is that volume really going to be all that plentiful, given that they've ranked 30th, 28th, and 28th in passing attempts with Kevin Stefanski, 23rd, 24th, and 27th in passing yards. And Baker Mayfield, if you haven't seen it, just sucks. He's not good. There is rumblings
it's going to be like a Kenny Galladay, like a Lions season.
Exactly. Exactly. A Galladay to the Giant. Exactly. That's a great comparison. Okay. But I think Cooper's like a better player than Galladay. I think Galladay's like the fakest
I agree.
Alpha. But even then, like Odell Beckham, I thought was one of the better receivers in the league, and he went there to die with Baker Mayfield. I just don't think this is the offense that supports. I mean, their number 1 receiver the last couple of years, 2020, Landry went 72 catches, 840 and 3. I know they're very different receivers, but 101 targets, meh, very, very meh. And then last year, do you know who their leading receiver was last year? I would never have guessed.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
It was. Good guess. Wow. Nicely done. Landry did get hurt. He only played 12 games, but Peoples-Jones led the team with 597 and 3. It's just like their offense is the run. It's Nick Chubb. It's Kareem Hunt. Even when Chubb was out, it was Dearness Johnson's show. And that's what Stefanski does. So, yeah, real life-wise, Cooper will stretch the field, have a nice impact. I still think he's one of the better route runners in the league. I can't believe it only took a 5th-round pick to get him. I guess it must have been because they knew he was getting released and take whatever we can get type of situation. But man, like I think
that is unbelievably cheap.
Unbelievably cheap. I can't believe that the Browns were the only team to really go after, or that's the only thing they could get. Like that blows my mind that Cooper went as cheap as he did. But for him, a huge downgrade, one of the biggest downgrades of the offseason so far, in my opinion. And as you mentioned, on the flip side, Gallup, talk about a complete opposite factory. 1st in total yards and total points last year were the Cowboys. 6th in attempts, 2nd in passing yards, 3rd in passing TDs. You now got 105 vacated targets from Amari Cooper, which isn't enormous. I think it was about 19th in the league last year, but he did miss 2 games. It was about 7 targets a game. You give the Gallup, who probably will slide right into that role, especially giving him $62 million the way they paid him, 5 years, $62 million. They're clearly expecting him to kind of step right into that number 2 receiver role behind CeeDee Lamb. I don't see why he doesn't get those 7 targets a game. And he makes plays every time he's targeted, whether it's draped over the sideline, like in the red zone, pinpoint, dragging the toes. Like, I love watching Gallup play. I am so excited for him to get this opportunity. And yeah, maybe he could have left and become a number 1 somewhere, but I think this is perfect. CeeDee Lamb takes the number 1
situation.
This is his ideal fantasy situation. And if he continues to go where he's going in these early best ball drafts right now, he's going to go down as the steal of 2022. I
agree. And like I said, I'd be real surprised if he doesn't outscore Cooper. Like I said, I didn't even really consider it like I really think he will.
And like, you make it sound like that's a bold prediction. And I'm with you. Like, I really think Gallup.
It doesn't feel bold to me. I'm glad that it is, because like maybe I'll seem really smart in a couple, but it seems just like, yeah,
it's almost as bold as that year you said Tyreek Hill over Odell Beckham, and you were very, very right.
I've been eating off that prediction for like 4 years.
Yeah. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.